Dricus du Plessis just went face-to-face with his former opponent Robert Whittaker on Fox Sports' main event, and Rob flipped the script ahead of UFC 319. While most of the talk has been about Khamzat Chimaev's gas tank, and whether he can keep that same ferocious pace after 2 or 3 grueling rounds, Whittaker hit DDP with the real question: how much has he worked on his own conditioning for this one? Du Plessis already has a reputation as a cardio machine, constantly pushing forward, throwing ridiculous volume, and breaking fighters with relentless pressure, almost like the middleweight version of Merab. He never gives opponents a second to think, let alone breathe. On the show, he laid out some of the specific changes he's made in camp to deal with Khamzat's wrestling threat, making it clear he's not walking into that cage to simply defend takedowns or skirt around the danger. He's coming to impose his will and hunt from the opening bell. The champ warns fans not to be surprised if Dricus is the one shooting for takedowns on the Chechen, making this fight even more intriguing. Let's dive into the exchange between Rob and DDP.
How much of a role does strength and conditioning play in your camps, especially in a lead up with Chimaev, who is going to be obviously working his wrestling, he's going to be working his endurance? Because I will say, I have my hat in your ring for this fight. I think he's going to come out strong in the first, and then it's anybody's game.
I think your strength in this situation, your strength is going to be something that's built over years. It's not going to go away. That's one thing, but to get strong into certain positions, I think that is a big thing, because all of you would know that your conditioning when it comes to the wrestling and grappling aspect of it is completely different to that of striking. You see wrestling guys that are super fit and wrestling, when they start striking, they just get tired because they're not used to that movement, and also the other way around. We made changes to getting in that, like you said, those nasty positions and working the conditioning from those positions, because if you find yourself in those positions, you cannot go, I'm tired now. The resting there, you cannot allow your opponent to rest.
Dana White just dropped a ton of updates in his latest interview, kicking things off with addressing the announcement of a massive 7-year TV deal with Paramount that he's calling a landmark move for the UFC, hinting there's still more to be revealed. He promised they're going into this on, quote, guns a-blazing, not watering down cards, and clarified that pay-per-view isn't going anywhere, just not part of the Paramount deal right now, though that could change if the right mega fight comes along. Bonuses are set to increase, fighters will get huge promotional pushes across Paramount's platforms, and now with the new Paramount Plus setup at just $12.99 a month, Dana says the sport's more accessible than ever, dropping the cost from over $1,300 a year to watch everything, down to just a fraction of that. He's even exploring primetime numbered events overseas, doubling Contender Series episodes, and yes, still chasing the wild idea of a UFC card on the White House South Lawn in 2026, snow or shine. CBS ratings are expected to blow past old peaks thanks to the lower cost, and of course, he's fired up for UFC 319 in Chicago, promising that the du Plessis-Khamzat matchup is one for the ages.
The whole thing started going out, pay-per-view's dead. Pay-per-view's not dead, we're on pay-per-view on Saturday. And the pay-per-view business is still very much alive and well. But we were talking about potential pay-per-view with other streaming partners that we were talking to in the deal. Who knows what could happen? The beautiful thing about this business is every year something happens that I don't see coming. A fight that you never thought would happen, or who knows? We're going to go in with to this Paramount deal, guns a-blazing, and no, that's not the way I think. I don't go, let's water this shit down now. We don't have to. Exact opposite. I'm really excited for the main event should be unbelievable. And probably the fight of the night. And we haven't been to Chicago in a long time. And sold out. I'm sure that buzz and the energy is going to be good. And I am going to not be keto in Chicago this weekend. So I'm looking very forward to all of it.
After DDP's coach went off on Khamzat during UFC Countdown, now Chimaev's camp is firing back hard. Originally, Dricus' coach called Khamzat a one-dimensional fighter with terrible striking, and in response, Chimaev's striking coach Rustam Edil Sultanov snapped on Russian channel Usha Taika, not only calling DDP's striking horrible, but saying he personally dislikes him. Coach believes the reason why du Plessis is the champ is because his previous opponents underestimated his endurance and tried to get him out of there early. early. Other than that, DDP is easy work according to coach. The wild part, neither criticism really makes sense. Khamzat is far from a terrible striker. In fact, he's downright dangerous, and Dricus' technique isn't bad at all. It's just unorthodox, with high-level offense and defense. Meanwhile, both fighters have stayed cool and professional, leaving their coaches to go full drama mode, throwing shots at each other while the fighters keep it clean. Will Khamzat and Dricus engage in trash talk during the press conference? We'll see. Now let's dive into the interview.
Мне не нравится этот парень,
I
Dricus.
absolutely do not like this guy, Dricus. He's just unpleasant, and his striking is a complete mess. Calling it technique would be a joke. There's nothing technical about it. It's sloppy and weak. His opponents seriously underestimate him, so he survives to the end and wins that way. But the truth is, he barely knows how to fight. I've never even watched his fights before, and that says a lot. He's an unpleasant human, and I wouldn't want to step in the octagon with him. We will keep winning, and they will keep talking. That's how it's going to be. Khamzat will shoot in the first 20 seconds, I am certain of that, and it will be a finish in the first round. He's a completely different level. Dricus doesn't even know what he's up against. It's going to be over fast, and there's no one in the UFC who can handle Khamzat's pressure and wrestling. This fight will be all over before Dricus even realizes what hit him. So this guy just went off on DDP in his past fights and then said he hasn't actually watched a single one of them. Whatever. Arman Tsarukyan just spoke on Jackson Podcast, saying Khamzat Chimaev is in great shape, looking sharp, and completely ready to beat Plessis at UFC 319. He also spoke on how tight their bond has become over the past year. Arman called it brother-like, saying they push each other and he's fully invested in seeing Khamzat reach the top. On his own path, Tsarukyan made it clear he's the #1 contender and ready to face Ilia Topuria, brushing off Ilia's MMA game as one-dimensional and claiming his own overall skill set is much more refined. He says his diverse striking combined with elite wrestling and grappling will be enough to dethrone Topuria. He didn't stop there, talking about plans to defend the belt as much as possible and even moving up to face Islam, showing he's chasing legacy, not just a title. The #1 contender is expected to face El Matador by the end of the year, while the rumored fight with Paddy Pimblett seems to be getting less and less likely. What are your thoughts on Arman? Should he face El Matador? Leave your comments below.
Do you believe you deserve the fight with Ilia?
Of course, I deserve it. I'm #1 contender, and they gotta give me this fight because I'm the next and I'm the next UFC champion. It's my belt.
Everybody says that Ilia is something they've never seen before.
He has just one special thing. It's a boxing. That's all. It's not boxing. It's MMA. Even the striking, I'm better than him for sure because my kicks, my elbows, my knees work always, and he does just good boxing. And they can wrestle as well. So I just can't wait, to show everybody like what's my level because I've been improving myself every day and working hard.
That's it from MMA Psycho. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.